Hey everyone, Singletrack Samurai here. In episode 1, I talked about the why Team Samurai was heading out to the divide. In episode 2, I talked about the where, which was my little way of talking about how I come up with a route plan and how I do my route study. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the how, specifically how, as Floridians, flatlanders, we prepare to ride in the mountains. So, a lot of cycling coaches will tell you that base miles are important. I'm not a cycling coach, but we don't have to worry about base miles. We spend 8 months out of the year organizing cycling events, participating in them, leading group tours, riding all the time, scouting routes. We're on the bike frequently and often, so base miles are not a problem for us. What I do focus on is speed work, and the point of doing the speed work is to build intensity. For me, and for a lot of people, climbing for 10, 15, 20 miles straight is a very intense effort. So doing speed work helps me simulate that steady rhythm of going uphill for a long time, which is something I want to be very ready for. I enjoy going up mountains. I especially enjoy it when I'm in shape and I feel good. For the first few weeks of that speed work, I did a couple of rides just by myself where I would drink a cup of coffee and then go ride 30 miles. I ride fasted. I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it helps kind of build my endurance up, and number two, it helps burn some fat. A real quick, easy way for me to do that. Once I got through those first couple of weeks, which sometimes it was tough, I focused on having coffee, having a meal, and then riding 40, 50, or 60 miles as fast as I could with 0 breaks. I want that intensity. I want that steady effort. I want to focus on the total average, not just your moving average. A lot of people are all about that moving average, but what's your total average? How many times have you ridden 50 miles and not stopped at all? That was the focus of our training, was having as little stop time as possible. Once I got through those couple of weeks and Uriah was out of school, I focused on pulling him along on the Piccolo to help simulate riding loaded. I think a lot of first-time bike packers don't ride loaded enough, and then when they get out there, the shock of pushing all that extra weight really gets to them. So I'm fortunate enough that I have that set up where I can turn my one-person bike into a two-person bike, and I can pull an extra 120 pounds. Those first couple of days were rough, but after a few weeks, I started finding my rhythm, and now it's gotten to be pretty easy. Which helps a lot, especially when I get out there with a loaded bike. The other thing that we do is we ride every day. We ride everywhere. We're going through food shopping, we ride bike. We want to go to the park, we ride bike. We want to go to a spring to go swimming, we ride the bike. Visit family, we ride the bike. Everywhere we can, we ride the bike. Tony was doing the same thing. She was riding to work every day and riding home. And what that does is this kind of gets the body ready for that mindset where you get up, you eat, you ride, you sleep, you repeat. Important. That mindset is everything. Another thing I do to kind of get ready, aside from riding every day and all the other things I mentioned, was I focus in putting in a 70 to 80% effort, and then I breathe only through my nose. I keep my mouth shut and breathe through my nose. I find in preparing for rides like this that it really expands my lungs, and when I do need to mouth breathe, I can really get that oxygen to my muscles, which helps a lot. Finally, a few days before the ride, I'll just stop riding altogether, what you would call a taper. I want to hit that trail in the mood to ride bike. I just want to be ready to go and really enjoy the experience out there. I don't train to be fast. I train to just enjoy myself. Sometimes you do have to go fast, especially when you're trying to beat a storm or make it to a store before they close. But those are the only instances when I'm touring that we need to go fast. Otherwise, we're just trying to have a great time. I've gone ahead and linked episode 1 and 2 in the comments below. I've also gone ahead and put a collection of my favorite training routes, which are local to me, but maybe you're around this area and you'll want to ride those training routes and see what they're like. I hope you find this information useful. I thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.